Welcome to Good for Bitcoin, a weekly show recorded live every Friday where we recap the top events of the week and talk about everything that is good for Bitcoin. If it's built on Bitcoin, then it's good for Bitcoin. Let's get started.
Content shared on this podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. It does not constitute financial, investment, or legal advice. The views and opinions expressed are those of the host and guests and do not reflect the official policy or position of any other agency, organization, or company. We encourage you to conduct your own research and consult with a qualified professional before making any financial decisions.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Good for Bitcoin, your weekly pulse on Bitcoin innovation. My name is Brandon, as always, joined by co-host Kate. Kate, how was your week?
Hey, Brandon. It was a good week, and like we were just talking about before we started, it seems like we finally have some things to talk about. Obviously, we're definitely still in the bear market, but yeah, it seems like people are building. Like we titled the show, "No one told the builders it's a bear market." So it's cool to see some exciting things happening and some meat for us to get into, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like the past few weeks we've been talking about all these different signs of like bottom signals, and yeah, maybe that the end of bottom signals are near, and we're gonna start seeing greener pastures, I guess, hopefully soon.
We'll see. One of the things I think, I'm not sure where I put it in the notes here, but one of the signals that like the bear market is coming to an end is like the OG whales start coming in to buy all the Bitcoin. I guess this is like a trend, which is currently happening. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah. Well, thank you to everybody for tuning in live. We're live on goodforbitcoin.com, also streaming on X and YouTube and some other places. If you are streaming on one of these platforms, make sure you're following us, subscribing, whatever the verb is for whatever platform that you're listening on. Thank you for listening live. But yeah, let's get into the public company news. Not too many public companies bought Bitcoin this week, just a few. Starting with Metaplanet, they bought 2,823 BTC this week, and then I hold a very even 43,000 Bitcoin.
Then we have Araji Bitcoin. They bought 2 BTC and they now hold 3,898.
That's pretty much it. That's all I saw out there.
That's it.
Nobody's selling, but not a lot of buys this week. We'll get into all the stuff that Strategy did because we had a lot of news to cover there. But just some other random public company news. I saw that Galaxy Digital has been added to the Russell 1000 index. Russell 1000 index, it's kind of like the S&P 500, tracks the largest 1,000 companies by market cap. So Galaxy Digital is on there now. That's pretty cool for them. Nice. And then this is your bit about the Bitcoin whales. Give some stats here.
This is where I saw it. So in the last 2 weeks, it's estimated that Bitcoin whales have bought roughly $16.7 billion worth of Bitcoin. I'm not sure how much that is in terms of Bitcoin, but that's a lot of billions. So they're in accumulation mode right now.
Quite a lot.
Yeah.
So let's get into Strategy. So we've been talking about, Strategy, their stock, and also STRC going down a bit in price. I bought some STRC last week because I expected it to go back up. And then this week, Strategy announced their digital credit capital framework to basically stabilize STRC fears. So there was this, we also talked, the past few weeks about how like the comms coming out from Strategy and from Saylor have been generally really bad. So I really appreciated this new framework. Seems like they kind of intentionally maybe waited a little bit to publish it. And it seemed very rational, what they kind of came out and said. And it seemed like the market appreciated that as well. But a few things that they announced as part of this framework. So they did not buy Bitcoin this week, but they did increase their USD reserve to $2.55 billion. which they say represents 17.4 months of dividend coverage for STRC. They also increased their STRC dividends by 50 bips, which is 0.5%, to 12% total. And they reaffirmed that their corporate objective is for STRC to trade over time at between $99 and $100. Right now, I think, well, markets are closed today because the U.S. is like celebrating 4th of July early or something. And but STRC closed yesterday, I think, around $87. So we're certainly back up from their low of 74 last week.
Nice.
Their USD reserve, they say, will only be used for either dividends for STRC and interest expense, and will be maintained at minimum of 12 months. So they say basically they'll always have at least 12 months of runway to pay dividends. So you never have to worry about that. They also announced a BTC monetization program, which would allow them to sell up to $1.25 billion of BTC to fund their USD reserve, or do things like repurchasing STRC or MSTR stock. So they basically officially came out and said that, yes, we may sell some Bitcoin, but if we do, it's quote unquote only going to be $1.25 billion worth. And the market, seemed to have received that pretty well. So MSTR is up 20% this week. And like I said, STRC is, still under 100, but it's closer to 90 than 70, which is what it was last week. So overall, they're on the up and up.
I feel like it's good that they released a framework like this. And I feel like most investors are not upset about the fact that they're selling Bitcoin. They just probably are more excited to see a plan more than anything as to how this plays out. Did you see Saylor on, I think it was Channel 4 News? Have you seen these clips going around where he's getting interviewed? And the interviewer's they're just asking why would you invest in cryptocurrency and Bitcoin or whatever? And she keeps interrupting Saylor when he's talking, and eventually he just goes, "Yeah, I'm done," and he leaves the interview.
I saw some clips floating around, but I hadn't watched them yet. But that's funny. I mean, Saylor is definitely somebody that likes to talk for a long period of time and not be interrupted. So that tracks.
He keeps going "Stop interrupting me. Let me finish." It's so funny.
Well, wasn't that, it was a few years ago, didn't he do this thing where he did a live stream or something, and he talked for 8 hours, or he did some marathon thing where he talked about Bitcoin for hours and hours and hours. He had this very long monologue. That's totally a thing. I forget how, it was something like that where it's he talked just about Bitcoin for 8 hours on a live stream at one point in time.
Funny.
I think that was over COVID, maybe he did that.
That makes sense.
I don't know. Yeah.
His live stream era.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we can get into this next one. You put this one in here, and then I found some additional follow-up that we can get into. But
I'm glad that you did. You added on to it. But
okay.
This one came out of left field. I feel like it was just this announcement that came, and basically it's this conglomerate called Open Standard has announced OpenUSD, which is a stablecoin from seemingly every crypto and tech company on the planet. Open Standard is an independent company that's made up of all of these OpenUSD partners. There's over 140 companies that are attached to this thing. And I can't possibly name them all, but I was going to try to see how many I can get through in one breath. So
let's do it.
So here we go. We got Visa, MasterCard, Google, Samsung, PayPal, American Express, IBM, Discover, DoorDash, Western Union, Coinbase, MoneyGram, US Bank, Wix, Stripe, Rakuten, Ripple, Solana, Standard Chartered, BBVA. I skipped a line. Shopify, Chime, SoFi, Klarna, Affirm, BlackRock, Citizens Bank, Crypto.com, Cloudflare, eToro, MetaMask, Ledger, Gemini, OKX, Polygon, BNY, Ramp, Trust Wallet, MoonPay, Aave, Galaxy, Base, Fireblocks, Anchorage, Morpho, Lightspark, Privy, Aptos Labs, Sui, and Cast.
Well done. I didn't think you were gonna get.
I barely did it.
You were,
I barely did it.
Struggling at the end.
It's like when, when runners hit the wall and they gotta keep going. That happened to me in the middle of that for sure. But anyway, so yeah, so every company is attached to it, except for many existing stable coins. Like Circle is one of the big ones that everyone was looking at. I think especially because Coinbase is attached to this. It's kind of weird because Coinbase also has like a majority stake in like USDC. So very interesting that they're putting their name behind this as well. But this is not a yield-bearing stablecoin. So they specifically say that partners will receive all of the earnings from OpenUSD's reserves, minus a small management fee to cover their operational costs. So it makes sense that all these companies would want to get on board and get on that sweet interest. And it will be live later this year, from what they say. But yeah, you added some more stuff on here that it's starting to face some backlash after people are looking into it a little bit deeper. So I'll throw it to you.
Yeah, so there was, I think it was maybe the head of BD at Block Media. I think that's who it was. Kind of did some digging, but basically they're facing backlash because Open Standard started listing firms that basically didn't give their consent to be listed in this, or maybe had initial conversations where they're saying, yeah, we're interested to exploring this, but never had like any written or official contracts, but then we're just like put in this consortium. And so they're getting backlash because they're saying like maybe it's not that credible. Obviously, like if there's not all these signing agreements, it's kind of just like take your word for it.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what will happen. Obviously, like Circle wasn't very pleased. So their CEO, Jeremy Allaire, he publicly criticized the announcement and was basically saying this lacks a lot of integrity because of this. Because there was big names like Samsung, there was big Korean firms that were basically like, we're not a part of this. Like, yeah, we might have been interested in this, but like we never gave our sign off. And then, yeah, he tweeted this morning just saying integrity matters.
Yeah.
So he's not happy. And like, I mean, a lot of this consortium is like kind of like a message to Circle, basically saying like, we're tired of paying you to use USDC. Like, so I'm not sure, we'll see like what kind of comes out of this, but there's definitely some firms and big names that are listed in here that are maybe not as bought in as it seems.
Yeah, I did see like in the comments, when you looked at the comments on like X for the announcement, there was a lot of these companies that were replying with like their reiteration of their support. But
yeah,
what a classic crypto announcement, right? Like
I know.
Classic crypto partnership announcement. They
So
exchange an
good.
email one time and suddenly they're partners.
Telegram, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see. I mean, even if half of these names don't, pan out, it's still
huge
pretty
ones that are.
big.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I
think a
was
lot of the
surprised
big
to see
ones-
every like Visa, MasterCard, American
Mm-hmm.
Express, and Discover, like all of the credit cards being on board with this too. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, it's cool. I guess good competition is needed, but we'll see.
Yeah. It's interesting. I guess. Yeah. I mean, the Circle stock also like went down a bit from the news.
Mm-hmm.
I think it rebounded a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty interesting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Some news from Robinhood as well. They dropped this kind of slew of announcements in their World is Flat presentation. I don't know what. I never really like. There's some announcements in here that are genuinely like good and cool. But what is the world is flat? Like, what does that even mean to them? Like in the context.
I don't get it.
Didn't land with me.
No, I didn't understand it either. I don't know if it's more like an equality thing, like everyone should be able to access this, but like the world is flat is very much a conspiracy theory. I don't know why you would lead with that. So anyway.
Shout out to the flat meme coin on Stacks.
Yes.
I guess they were probably loving it.
Their numbers pumped.
So first bit of news, which maybe you're excited for, I don't know. Robinhood Canada is launching with 0 trading fees for 90 days. Are you going to be using that at all?
Probably not.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big competition between Robinhood and Wealthsimple up here in Canada. Those are like obviously going to be the two main ones. But I'm just not a big trader, so
yeah. same.
Pretty cool. Excited for the traders, but I
Yep.
do not fall in that bucket.
Yeah. They're also going much more on chain. So they announced this product called Robinhood Earn. It's rolling out in the US, and basically it's going to allow you to lend USDG, which is like their stable coin, I think, on chain through a self custody wallet, and you'll be able to earn 7% APY for doing that. They also announced Robinhood Chain, which is their own blockchain, permissionless AI native L1 that they say is built for financial services and real world assets. So lots of stuff coming from Robinhood. There's a few other kind of smaller announcements too. I think they like tweaked their trading fees or something, but
Yeah.
yeah, pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. They're going full blown crypto company.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, we talk about it a lot, right? It's like crypto is going into TradFi is going into crypto.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's just going to be, they're just all finance companies and they're all just doing all the things. And that's the way we're headed.
And then we'll need a new L1 for all of them.
Yeah.
and the cycle never stops.
Yeah. Well, they want to be that L1 so they can capture, the trading or the transaction fees and stuff like that from the L1. That's why Base has done so well for Coinbase.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Same thing. Some more quick headlines. Binance is going to stop serving clients in the UK next week after failing to obtain a MiCA license, which is sort of like it's like the EU's version of like a bit license, basically. So all the crypto companies, I think I saw it's July 1st was like a deadline for needing to obtain one. Otherwise, they were going to be unable to continue operating there, and that has happened. So I think they're trying to get one, but for now, basically, if you're in the UK, you cannot use Binance anymore.
I read that this is, which I don't think makes sense, but it said something like it would affect like 450 million clients. But like obviously that doesn't make sense if it's just based in the UK.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a big number regardless. So
yeah, maybe it's all of EU and not just
Maybe.
UK.
Maybe.
Maybe my reporting is wrong. It's totally
Yeah, I think
possible.
it might be EU. I think
Yeah.
that's what it is.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we have Mr. DJT, Donald Trump, reports owning over 50 million in Bitcoin held in his cold storage. So, yeah, big holdings, big whale.
Yeah, I think. I don't know if they're quarterly reports or annual reports, but that was what came out. It was Trump has over 50 million, and I think JD Vance has somewhere like less than $500,000 worth of
wow.
Bitcoin. But there's some disclosures that they do basically that shows that. Interesting that it's like specifically held in cold storage though. Super interesting. Does like Trump have like a ledger in the Oval Office, or like how does that work?
I don't know. Or it's hidden somewhere, buried in what's his place in Florida?
Mar-a-Lago. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Talking about whales earlier, the average IBIT investor, which is BlackRock's ETF, based on Bitcoin's price, is now down around 40% as Bitcoin ETFs cap their second worst week on record. This happened last week. We missed this news. I think that came out on Friday. But U.S. spot Bitcoin ETFs recorded about $1.79 billion in net outflows in the week ending June 26, which was last week, which was, the second largest weekly outflow since the funds launched in January 2024. So, maybe Bitcoin whales are buying, but the ETF holders, I guess, are hurting.
Then we have SBI Holdings. They are actually shutting down their mining pool on July 31st. And it says it's going to basically displace around 2% of the global hash rate, which is a pretty big number. They say they're going to pivot to exchange and stablecoin operations. And I think maybe also getting into like AI data centers, as we've talked about, a few times on this show, just like repurposing that electricity and power towards AI, just because mining is not profitable at the moment.
Yeah, that's pretty much every Bitcoin company is doing that, or Bitcoin mining company is doing that combination of the two. Wanted to end it on some hopium. I saw this tweet from Saratoshi that I thought was interesting. It's a new quarter. We are in Q3 now. It's July, and Bitcoin closed its third. They said thirth, which is interesting, but it's third red quarter candle. Basically, we can see the chart here for those that are watching live, but yeah, the third red candle on the quarter, which has historically indicated that we are kind of at the bottom, and we are going to be seeing a big green candle here, hopefully pretty soon. Time will tell, I guess.
Time will tell. Wow.
I think that wraps it up for the week.
That's it.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Catch all of our episodes at goodforbitcoin.com. We have, I think, a special episode coming next week. We're going to have some special guests coming on to the show, TBD. But we will see you all next week on Friday. And yeah, have a good weekend, everybody.
Awesome. See you guys.